when I get here, okay, I am flat. He's got the cross face in. I come off the top of the head. Now, one of the questions was, what if he starts to climb high like for a head and arm choke here? Okay, well, I mean, that's why we have this frame down here in the hip. So if he does bring his head up here, we have to prevent him from climbing up to this point here. You can't just let him climb up, okay? So when I initially came across, I bumped and I'm right here. Just the tip of my elbow is kind of up over his shoulder. If he starts to drive his head to the mat, my elbow goes down with it. Don't just leave your arm up here and let him just drive his head down the mat. Because once his head gets to the mat, now there's no coming back. Okay? So the simple way to fix that is as I get right here and he starts to go to the mat, bring your elbow down to the mat as well and scrape it right up underneath his face. Okay? You have the angle to get up underneath. So if he takes that head down, remember, boom, bring the elbow down, okay, so you can get up underneath. Don't let him just take his head all the way down behind your shoulder. Okay? The second thing is as I turn and I get my high side knee in, okay, I need to build up. If he's got my collar, I can't stretch away from him to build up. Huge problem. Come on, this way. So if I'm here, yeah, I've got a good frame on him. I got a good solid knee shield. But this is a problem, okay? This new series of passers, even kind of how I'm passing a little bit now, this collar has got to be dealt with. So I can come in here, block this, and stretch away till that collar breaks. You have to break it. Now, a couple people caught this earlier, right, is how I'm getting up. I'm not trying to pull my elbow up underneath me. Y'all can try it here in just a minute. It's going to be really, really hard if they're keeping their weight on you to get up to your elbow from here, even though I got a good frame on, high and low, okay? So the way I get my frame is I just break this grip. My hand goes way behind me, back here. Keep my frames on. Still got my frames. Turn my body a little bit to the ground and bring my elbow up behind me, almost like I'm going to do a push-up. Okay, so I got my frame, turning my top shoulder to the mat, then I build up to my elbow. Now, if I want, I can build up to my hand as well. Okay, so where we're going from here now, we've got our frame on. Bottom side foot brake's going to come in. I want to break that far side hip. Okay. So now I can feed the bottom side foot under and I can catch my top side butterfly. Okay, so from here, I can sit up. Now I've got this collar grip, massively important. The hand that's back now is going to come and grab over the belt. Okay, so now I've got a cross collar grip and a belt grip. This hand is now going to shift to the other hand and we're going this direction. Now I've got my butterflies, okay? I'm going to shove this hand to the mat underneath. We're going over the opposite direction. Make sure you get the sequence right. Flat on your back. Boom. Hand comes in. Turn. I've built up. There's my foot brake. Top side hook, the knee hook is just gonna rotate back inside. Now we're hooking, okay? The other hook is gonna rotate inside. I'm gonna use my hooks to pull myself in and I grab this side belt. Across, don't grab here. Grab across. Now we're shifting down to the hand, okay? I'm gonna load him and push his hand down underneath. We're going over. Close. That is the technique we're working today, okay? That's the technique. We're only gonna do it a few times. Then we're gonna go live with our buildup. Last thing I wanna talk about is framing versus hooking and this grip, okay? Framing versus hooking depends on what you're trying to accomplish. So when we're framing, okay, our goal is to keep him from coming into us, to manage distance. So once I start my framing sequence, I'm here. Notice my thumb is down in this cross collar, all right? This cross collar is going to be the biggest staple in your game if you're doing your game the way I do it, okay? Thumb being down means I'm framing, because notice my elbow's up. It doesn't matter what he tries to push on my elbow with. He can put both his hands up there and try to push down. There's a solid frame there, okay? It's a frame. Left foot is a frame, right? If I turn my thumb down, that becomes a what? A hook. Even though I'm pulling, right? Now I'm pulling, look what happens. He caves my elbow down and it's not managing distance anymore. So when your thumb is up, designed to pull, it's a hook. Thumb is down, it's designed to frame, manage space. Need to make sure we understand that distinction, all right? We're going to switch from framing, even from top side and bottom side, from framing to hooking here in just a second. So what I want y'all to do is, the second you see me switch from framing to hooking on my lower body, I want you to shout out hook. Okay, the minute you know that my job description is now changed from a frame to a hook, and I'm going to go through this slowly. So just say hook when you think it's happened. Okay, so what's my goal clearly now? Is it now to manage distance anymore? Now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to close distance. So what's going to happen to this thumb? Is this now a hook or a frame? Huh? So how many hooks do I have on right now? 4. Because now this hook goes from here to the sleeve. Whoops. Framing to hooking. Okay? It's as far as we're going to go with it. Tomorrow, all about this cross hook. All about it. Collar drags, wrestle up, ankle picks, everything. And how dynamic this is versus up and down. You're going to see massive shifts in the middle of your game. Spot second, boom, boom. It switches. Here, 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 here. This right here is huge and how you use it, especially in the gi. Okay? Let's get some reps of that. Make sure the parts I don't want you to mess up is you get here. Okay? Somebody spot the knot. What do I got to fix here? Okay? There's another thing that happens here. I don't want to see anybody letting go of this and going to this. The problem there is the minute I let go of this to go to that, what's he do? Oh, either he flattens me out or he runs away. It's a mistake in grip sequencing. I'm here. Where does this hand go? Over the back. Does it go in the middle of the back or the same side of the back? No. When I hit my hook sweeps, I go across. Affect the far side hip. Another little secret from guys that play butterfly a lot. You see some guys, rookie mistake, grab on this side or grab down here or grab right in the middle. If I have to, I'm offset the head enough to grab on this far side because that belt's going to turn a little bit. Get here. Far side. Look at the angle I'm affecting him. I've got a cross angle on him. Not down the middle, I'm not on this side. I'm over here. So I'm affecting his far side hip. Now I transition to the sleeve. Now I scoot and I load. I don't even have to hit my post. I don't even have to hit my elevations. So deep. Arm goes across the body. You should still have that underhook on the collar as you reach over the back. Then you can transition the hand. You got it? Let's get it done. 1, 2, 3. That's fine. No issue. Watch what we're going to do. So I run through this whole thing. Okay? So I'm here. Right? Broken the collar grip. Build up. Foot brake comes on. Now you see the collar switch. Now I don't want him to run from me. Because what happens here, okay, is when he feels this, a lot of times what you see is they have a tendency to just pop up to their feet. Now I don't want him to run from me. If my thumb is down, it's a little harder for me to manage him if my thumb is down. So now I want to be able to pull. You'll see why in a minute when I face plant somebody tomorrow. Okay, you'll see why. My favorite technique in all of jiu-jitsu, collar drift, right? So I want to go thumb up. So I got my foot brake in. Let's just say he's kind of in this low angle pass. I still got butterfly on because he's in this low angle. If his butt comes up, what happens? Butterfly's off duty, right? We're going to something else. But if he stays in this low angle passing, yeah, I'm good all day, right? So I shift, foot comes inside. Now we're hooking with two. This one's got to get involved. Recruit the third. I'm up over the top. Some of you guys had a bit of an issue with that, kind of shoot under and kind of just more or less cradle them, bigger guys. So watch what we do. This hand has now got him. I'm locked. I've got 4 hooks on. Now we're going to the fourth, we're transitioning forth from the collar to the sleeve, but watch this underside foot. This left foot is going to shoot up underneath my butt, and the bottom 3 toes are going to the mat. Taking my head down there in a circle. So I don't have to pull him and load him quite so much. I just start to turn. This foot goes down. He goes over easy. So my foot, at that cross grip, my foot's just going to come underneath my other foot and it pushes off the mat, and I take his head over his knee until I'm up on my shoulder. Over he goes. That's the easier way. More traditional butterfly guard sweep, hook sweep. Okay? Put the foot underneath the butt and go. All right? Now, to finish this off, we're going to go live with this for rounds so you get to understand how to get off your back and how to get to this knee shield. Let me make this clear. If all you're able to accomplish is getting to here, or just a foot brake, I'd ideally like you to get to foot brake. If you can get to here, this is a win. You may start over unless you want to just proceed to try to hang on to them and go to the butterfly sweep, which I'd highly suggest. If you're good enough at getting here, foot brake, yeah, try to hit your sweep, because that just means you're capable of moving weight. You can get off your back anytime you want. This is the hardest part, is to go from here to here. This is the hardest part. Stomp that foot brake. If you want to tell your partner, good, I'm good here. Start over. If you can get off your back, I promise you your jitsu goes to the next level over the next day. Promise you. Work this until we can't do it no more. We still have about 20 minutes of class. That's all we're going to do. 1 minute flip, 1 minute flip. If you can't get out within a minute, too bad. You flip over, you're going to keep going. 1 minute flip, 1 minute flip. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.